Hello, hello. Hola, hola, hola. Um, I usually, it's been a little bit since I've done a video. It's roughly around 9 o'clock, November. In November. It's been almost a year since I was last near the Gulf of Mexico. Actually, at the Gulf of Mexico on my birthday. I ended up being there. Maybe, hopefully. I communicate a little bit more in Spanish. I think I've said, but when my grandma moved um, and basically lived with us from Mexico, is when I picked up pretty good on Spanish. Growing up, communicating wasn't always on my list, you know. It may sound a little bit bizarre, it may sound a little bit out of, or like something that's doesn't make sense, but yeah, it's almost December. Christmas, my birthday falls in the month of December. But I communicate a little bit more. I communicate, it's Nike. Communicate quite a bit, and I've communicated in Spanish. But I just figured I'd do a little video. Just seeing how y'all are doing, seeing how the world is carrying you by, you know, seeing, I don't know, just if the world is treating you in a way that makes you, in a way that that does you right, you know. But like I was saying, I communicate pretty good in Spanish. But while growing up, you know, in school, the communicating wasn't always there. Wasn't always a part of whether, you know, classmates, friends were not always there to communicate, or always there to lend a hand. You know, I think it's about doing that, about lending a hand, whether you think they may not need it, or whatever the cause may be. You know, I think it's about lending. I think it's about spreading the good and doing what is right, you know. Because if not, the enemy will live in those areas where evil lies, you know, where there's evil, where there as in bad people, you know, evil people, you know, just things that you know, I believe you have the power to control and make the enemy flee in a way, by doing good, you know, by doing what is right, by lending a hand, whether or by saying, giving someone good advice, you know, giving them a treat, giving them, you know, a gift, giving them whatever it is that all those good things that you may have on your list, or on, you know, those things that, or um, you know, things like that. But I do communicate a little bit. I've been doing Spanish. I have, I believe I have a couple of videos, I think, in English, but yeah, I'm just here at the house. Brother that came over, we put up some Christmas, some lights, and just here may put a little bit more, some more lights up, and within a few days or so, or it's not too cold out where I'm at. I'm in Texas, in Frost, but it's I'm not sure on the degrees, but I believe maybe not too cold. I am covered up. I feel comfortable. Although you know, I may lack, whether it's financially or lack things, but there's a saying, you know, if you have God, you have everything. So, you know, I'm in that. Maybe I'm on that boat. You know, I don't know if you're on a boat where there's where your friends are not doing you any good, or if you're on a boat where you know, things are not going the way that you want things to go. You know, I believe it's getting on a boat where it's gonna take you to the finish line. You know, it's gonna do what is gonna help you along the way. You know. It's gonna give you the things that you need to accomplish the things that is important. You know, I believe that doing what is good so the enemy will flee. I believe that, you know, you can if you do those things, the enemy will find its way out. You know, he'll run, you know. So it's about you know, I think it's about doing not only what is right underneath your parents, but I believe in your own eyes. I believe in the eyes of God. You know, hey, we need to do these things, and we need to act right. We need to do all these things in order to be in a good place, in order to feel accomplished, to be accomplished, to, you know, to be able to get these gifts, to be able to get these things that not only that maybe your friends have for you, but your parent, you know. And it's in the Bible, you know, or even, you know, what God has for us, you know, Jesus. You know, it's about you know, living in a place that's gonna do you right. That's gonna go out of their way to, hey, serve you. You know, go out of the way to lend you, whether it's money, whether it's, hey, I know you need this, or hey. So it's about, you know, spreading what is right. You know, spreading what is good, spreading what is valuable. You know, spreading, hey, this guy, or hey, this girl, look at the way she be walking, look at the way she be looking, look at the way this guy, it's all about, doing what the enemy hates, or what the enemy, if we're in a way, if we live in a sense where you're doing all good, that doesn't come into play. None of that comes into play, whether he likes this, whether he doesn't like this, or whether, it's about just walking, taking that step, climbing that steep hill, climbing that mountain, not being prepared for these things. When my car had broke down, I didn't make it up. It didn't make it up, up a hill when I was, those things, it's like, if you're not prepared for those things, it can lead to, bad things, things, if you're not prepared for, these obstacles, that maybe life, nature, God takes you through, whether, regardless, I don't think, it's about taking someone down an obstacle, an obstacle course, or I believe it's about guiding that person, and doing, I can tell you, but it's about, hey, we're all living our life, if you take a sense of, just stopping and being like, oh, okay, look, this is my life, am I on the right track? Am I doing what is right? Is this going to lead me to a place that's going to it's going to provide one day, without suffering, without whatever evil, whatever, and if you're, it's just about, like, if there's a baby, you want that baby to live and grow without anything negative while this baby is growing. So I think that's the way, what I'm, I guess, basically trying to say, in a sense. But, but yeah, I'm in my room, just, here, but, I've been, communicating, talking about God, talking about, just about, i.e., talking about God and the importance and things that, just about, the walk, and, I believe we all need to be on this walk, walking, in a sense where he wants us, in Spanish, it's communicate. I'm able to elaborate pretty good in that language. English has been a little bit hesitant, been a little bit like where it just doesn't flow, where it doesn't, whether that's coming from God, whether that's, na fire, whether it's, meaning if there's a troubleshoot problem there. But I just, I'm here, I've been getting some views here and there, you know, I believe. Plus a little bit more on the shorts. But it's been almost a year. I am 33, going to be 34. You know, I graduated when I was, I believe, 19. So it's been a little bit since I've been out of school, but you know, I believe it's about, you know, not, you know, living in a way where you don't get a little bit older. You know, you just continue to grow with wisdom, continue to grow with that strength, that guidance, that power, that step, that thing that we need each and every single day, as in the rest, you know. I believe each, you know, as days go by, you know, it's about having to get that rest to move forward.